Discover the miraculous revelation of 12 higher dimensions, a divine prophetic message unveiled. In the heart of a quaint English village, there stood an ancient chapel where whispers of miracles danced like the flickering candlelight. Father Thomas, a humble shepherd of souls, felt a sacred stirring deep within him, an awakening to a mysterious truth unfolding. Oak beams bore witness to countless prayers, yet doubt and skepticism held dominion over this land. The townsfolk, once vibrant with faith, leaned towards reason, leaving the chapel's echoes silent, but not forgotten. One fateful evening, as Father Thomas knelt in fervent prayer among the aged stone walls, he sensed a presence, a divine energy coursing through the air like a gentle breeze. Suddenly, in a blinding flash of light, he glimpsed the 12 higher dimensions of divine life. Colors cascaded across his vision, each representing a promise of transformation for those brave enough to believe. A radiance so powerful encircled him, enveloping the very essence of his being in divine love and truth. Days passed, and murmurs of miraculous healings began to emerge, shadows vanishing from the faces long etched with worry. Can it be? Villages wondered, curiosity blending with disbelief. To them, these tales were fanciful dreams, mere stories in which they no longer believed. But Father Thomas clung tightly to his vision, longing to reveal this revelation and breathe life back into his community. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Fueled with courage, Father Thomas organized a community prayer event. Come, all of you believers and skeptics alike. Let us gather in the chapel for an evening of prayer. His voice echoed with a profound urgency, laced with the faith he wished to share. Among those who arrived was young Mary. Her heart weighed heavy as she cradled her terminally ill son, eyes glistening with tears and hope intertwined. As the evening unfolded, families shared testimonies, miracles unveiled. An elderly man spoke of sight restored. A woman recounted the warmth of healing echoing through her bones. The chapel thrummed with anticipation, a sacred energy intertwining their hearts. It was in that defining moment, Mary prayed with all her might, her voice a desperate whisper rising above the others, God, grant us a miracle. Suddenly, silence fell. A hush so profound it stole the breath of the congregation. And then a miraculous transformation lit the air. Mary's son, frail and lost, began to stir, light enveloping his form as laughter erupted from his lips. Gasps of disbelief filled the chapel, a wave of electric faith surged through the assembly. As they witnessed this divine intervention, joy radiated, hearts warmed, and skepticism began to melt like snow in the sun. Yet for Father Thomas, the vision remained heavy, pressing questions urging him onward. How would this single miracle slip into their souls, nurturing their newfound faith? Would they embrace the 12 dimensions of divine life he had seen? Could skeptics transcend their disbelief? With every prayer, every hopeful heartbeat, Father Thomas realized the battle had just begun. The air crackled with divine tension, leaving villagers full of wonder but yearning for more answers. As the call to faith gathered momentum, he stood poised to guide them deeper into the mysteries, yet unfurling what sacred truth awaited them on this unfolding journey. The following days seemed to cascade into a harmonious blend of hope and wonder. The chatter in the village shifted, whispers no longer tinged with skepticism but instead, bursting with expectation. Father Thomas felt the palpable buzz of faith hanging in the air, like the scent of rain before a storm. Hearts began to open, each yearning for more of the divine light that had touched them in the chapel. One morning, Father Thomas awoke to a soft light filtering through his window, casting golden rays across the humble room. The world outside seemed alive, flowers swayed gently, birds chirped cheerily, and he realized a profound stillness wrapped around everything. It was as if nature itself celebrated the miracles, urging the villagers to embrace the unseen dimensions of divine creation. Determined to sustain this spiritual awakening, Father Thomas decided to hold another gathering, this time deeper than the last, a healing service where hearts would be invited to reconcile their doubts and fears. "Join me," he urged as he stepped into the square, "to explore the higher dimensions of faith. Let us witness together what God has in store." Young and old prospered that evening. The chapel, lights twinkling like stars above, brimmed with anticipation. Mary returned, a radiant look illuminating her usually weary face, and she held her son tightly, no longer the frail child, but a spark of vitality. The prayers ignited memories, his laughter ringing in the minds of every attendee. As the congregation gathered, Father Thomas felt a gentle hand touch his shoulder. Turning, he found the village's baker, Mr. Collins, usually a man of practical thinking, wearing an almost childlike wonder. "I'm here to find what I thought I knew," he murmured. To believe, if only for today. With hearts wide open, they sang hymns that resonated through the very fabric of the chapel. He invited those who wished to share any personal revelation stories of faith, of healing, and the inexplicable. One by one, the villagers stood, recounting moments of divine touch. A mother spoke of feeling her late husband's warmth surrounding her during her prayers. A farmer shared how after an awful drought, rains had poured down, turning his fields lush again just after he prayed for guidance. Time ebbed away quietly as miracles bloomed in shared stories. Each tale radiated, drawing the crowd closer, a tapestry of faith wove through their spirits. Father Thomas realized these stories were seeds planted in a village of hardened hearts, watered by tears of joy and shored up with hope. But amidst the rising tide of belief, his heart remained heavy, a persistent quiet whisper nudging him. What lay beyond the surface joy? What truths lurked within the 12 dimensions? Father Thomas knew this was not the end but rather a beginning, an invitation to journey further into the extraordinary. As the gathering prayed, an inexplicable calm washed over him. In that sacred moment, he felt a shimmering pulse of energy radiate from the altar. Could this be a sign? Was God revealing something magnificent, something that would reshape the very essence of their lives and faith? The chapel doors opened wide, beckoning the night's chill, but they stood as a united fellowship, suspended in shared sacredness. Father Thomas raised his hands, inviting the Holy Spirit. Could they collectively transcend their earthly limitations? Could each heart unlock a new understanding of the divine? The echoes of their prayers resonated within the walls, but as the last syllable faded into the night, a mysterious figure appeared at the chapel's entrance. Dressed in a flowing cloak, not a single feature discernible save for an aura of light, the figure quietly searched the crowd. Gasps swept through the congregation as Father Thomas felt a shiver dance down his spine. Could this stranger be the key to the unfolding mysteries, the guide to the 12 dimensions he had glimpsed? "Will you follow?" the stranger asked, with a voice like gentle thunder, captivating every heart and setting the stage for an extraordinary journey ahead. The air hung heavy with anticipation, a sacred electricity crackling like summer lightning. Father Thomas felt the weight of the moment settle upon the hearts of the congregation. They stood straining against the thin veil between the ordinary and the extraordinary, all eyes drawn to the glowing figure at the door. Who was this stranger? What invitation did he bring? "Will you follow?" The voice resonated, echoing through the minds of the villagers. Each heart beat in time, a rhythm of hope and wonder. Slowly, a whisper of agreement washed across the faces in the chapel. A murmur of yes rippled through the crowd, a collective spirit igniting the night. "Then prepare," the figure said, stepping forward, the cloak swirling around him like mist. "Tonight, ye shall glimpse the realms beyond your own, the dimensions that weave the fabric of your existence. Journey with me, and discover the treasures that await." Father Thomas's heart raced. A blend of fear and excitement surged through him. Could they truly glimpse these higher dimensions? What would they find? With a humble nod, he clasped his hands together in prayer, seeking clarity. Looking back at the villagers, he saw that same light of yearning in their eyes, the desire to embrace the divine, to walk a path veiled in mystery. The figure turned, leading them out of the chapel and into the cool night air. Stars danced brightly, twinkling as if in acknowledgement of the unfolding adventure. The moon shone down, casting silver beams that felt like blessings unto the gathered souls. Father Thomas felt a warmth spread through him as they followed the promise of divine direction, the urge to step beyond the familiar. "Close your eyes," the figure instructed, his voice a soothing balm. "Breathe deeply. Trust, and you shall see." As they stood in formation, a circle under the vast sky, the congregation breathed in unison, drawing in the stillness, letting it fill them. Father Thomas felt himself surrender to the experience, his doubts peeling away like bad paint from an old wall. What if they truly could meet God in a way they had never dreamed? With a sudden surge, an iridescent light engulfed them, radiant and blinding. Warmth enveloped them, the kind that dissolved fears and healed wounds unseen. Father Thomas felt his heart open wider, breaking against the constrictions of past doubt. Within the light, he began to see visions, shimmering images of love, acceptance, and unity. Dimensions revealing the essence of humanity's connection to one another, their shared sufferings and joys. Each heartbeat pulsed with a divine rhythm, resonating truth deep within his soul. This was no mere illusion, it was the very heartbeat of creation unfolding before them. When the light dimmed, Father Thomas delicately opened his eyes to the surprised faces around him. "Did you see? Did you feel it?" he whispered, eyes wide. Each villager nodded, some with tears streaming down their cheeks, others with expressions of awe, as if they had met the face of God itself. They were changed, each rocked by profound revelations that had danced on the edge of their understanding. But amidst this glow of divine connection, a question stirred within Father Thomas. A whisper of concern snaked its way into his heart. Were they ready for what lay beyond this? What deeper truths would challenge their faith and reshape their destinies? "Do you understand what you have witnessed?" the figure asked, his voice grounding and firm, yet tender. "Not yet," Father Thomas ventured, hope mingling with uncertainty. "We feel, but there's more to learn." The figure smiled, a knowing warmth radiating around him. "Indeed, there is. This journey is just the beginning. The dimensions you sensed hold wonders, yes, but also trials that will test your faith and resolve." As the villagers absorbed this, a shiver of divine anticipation danced through them. They realized they stood on the brink of a sacred adventure, an unfolding mystery that would take them beyond their comfort and into the heart of divine encounters. "Will you dare to continue?" the stranger posed. Words dripping with celestial magnetism, Father Thomas swallowed hard, determination kindling within him. "Together, we will follow." And as anticipation built once more, an unseen force drummed through the air, a summoning tremor of fate. What awaited them in the dimensions beyond, and how would their faith be transformed in ways they couldn't yet comprehend? The future shimmered with divine possibilities, untold stories yet to unfold. The air felt alive with a new energy, sparking curiosity and trepidation in equal measure. The villagers clutched one another's hands, a tapestry of warmth and solidarity formed under the celestial watch of the stars. Father Thomas could sense the heartbeat of hope, a relentless pulse that urged them forward. "Come," the figure beckoned, his voice rich and soothing, like honeyed water flowing over stones. "The path ahead is illuminated by the light that guides all truths." As he led the congregation onward, the landscape shifted around them. The earthy scents of their village, the whispers of familiar trees, faded into a vibrant realm shimmering with colors they hadn't known existed. The air was thick with the fragrance of blooming spirit, a bouquet of divine fragrances intertwining. Father Thomas blinked, astonishment filling his eyes. "Where are we?" he breathed, lost in this otherworldly moment. "Here lies the first dimension," the figure explained. "A realm of the heart, the place where emotions dwell, where joy and sorrow intertwine. All truths begin here, for the heart knows what the mind cannot fathom." As the word settled, each villager began to experience flashes of memory, moments of pure joy intertwined with the weight of loss. Scenes unfolded like petals, revealing struggles and triumphs. Father Thomas saw himself cradling a newborn, the love swelling like a tidal wave, and then felt the aching void of his late mother's absence, a reminder of love lost. Yet through it all, a radiant thread connected every joy to every sorrow, a divine tapestry woven by the hand of God. "This is the space of understanding," the figure continued. "Here, you will learn that love is both the balm and the fire of existence. Without understanding pain, joy remains shallow. Embrace this duality. One by one, the villagers gathered strength from this revelation. Tears flowed freely, but they were not merely tears of sadness. They were tears of release, washing away guilt, anger, grief, connected by a newfound empathy. What do we do with this? A woman asked, her voice trembling with sincerity. Share it, the figure replied, his gaze penetrating each soul. Only through sharing can love grow. Only through unity can healing begin. With a sudden shift, everything blurred and transformed. The scene cascaded into a new dimension, a swirling spiral of colors. This realm pulsed with life, a place of abundant creativity where imagination lived without restraint. Welcome to the second dimension, said the figure, now standing beside Father Thomas. Here lies the birthplace of dreams and visions, the very realm of inspiration. Father Thomas felt energy coursing through him, as if divine ideas were igniting within his mind. He saw intricate designs of artwork manifesting, stories waiting to be told, and paths yet to be walked. A flicker of doubt threatened to creep in. Will we be able to grasp this power? Do not fear your gifts, the figure assured, leaning closer. Every one of you carries a spark of divinity within. Embrace this fire, let it guide you. A world in need awaits your light. Eager thoughts and visions danced among the villagers, each heart swelling with possibility. But as the shimmering surroundings began to stabilize, urgency settled in Father Thomas's soul. Will we truly harness this? He pondered aloud, fear and hope mingling in his voice. Deep inside him, the stirring understanding sensed that this was only the beginning, a tantalizing prelude to greater trials ahead. Yes, the figure replied, his tone resonating with certainty. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Each dimension reveals a new layer, and with each step, your courage will be tested. Father Thomas inhaled deeply. A wave of determination rose within him. We will face what comes. The villagers nodded, their eyes glowing with resolve, yet they shared a mutual whisper of uncertainty that flickered between them. What lessons awaited them in the next dimension? Would they find strength or be faced with their deepest fears? The unfolding mystery loomed large as hearts beat. With anticipation and trepidation, urging them forward into the unknown. The vibrant colors swirled and settled into a breathtaking panorama, revealing a landscape unlike any they had known. Hills of soft silver glimmered under an ethereal light, and trees adorned with shimmering leaves stood tall, whispering secrets to each other in a language only the heart could grasp. The air felt electric, filled with the sound of laughter, as if the very essence of joy danced around them. This is the third dimension, the figure said, his voice echoing like a calm breeze. It is the realm of unity and connection. Here, you will discover the strength that lies in togetherness. As Father Thomas and the villagers stepped further, an overwhelming sensation washed over them. They felt drawn to one another, their hands instinctively reaching out. It wasn't just the warmth of each other's grip, it was an invisible thread, a binding force that knit their souls together in profound harmony. Look around you, the figure encouraged. Every being you're seeing is a part of the same tapestry. Each life is intertwined, every story matters. In unity, you will find strength that surpasses the individual. You will learn to lift one another, for that is where true power resides. Father Thomas watched as his flock embraced one another, tears of joy and exhilaration mixing. He felt the pulse of their hearts beating in sync, a rhythm infused with hope, love, and spirit. It reminded him of when he first felt God's love encompassing him. It was the same joy that now radiated in their midst. Remember this feeling, the figure continued, a knowing smile gracing his lips. This is the foundation upon which you will build. Strength in unity is a boundless force. Oh, it's beautiful! A villager exclaimed as colors shifted, illuminating her face. I feel it. I feel so connected. Yes. Another cried, laughter spilling from his lips. It's as if we're all woven into one story. How can this be? Because, the figure replied, when you walk together, your burdens lessen, and your joys multiply. In this realm of connection, you learn to share not just in happiness but also in sorrow. In doing so, healing manifests. Father Thomas felt a profound sense of understanding wash over him. The echoes of grief and loss resurfaced, but this time they didn't feel heavy. They were shared experiences, stitched together with the joy of fellowship. He lowered his head, tears of gratitude spilling onto his cheeks. Will we always see this connection? Father Thomas asked, his heart questioning the inevitability of hardship. Ah, therein lies the challenge, the figure replied, voice steady but gentle. In your world, distractions abound. Fear may try to cloud your vision at times. Yet, remember this moment, for it is a glimpse of your true potential. A sudden gust of wind swept through, carrying the villagers' laughter and whispers as it twirled around them, wrapping them in its embrace. They swayed, as if caught in an invisible choir, and for a fleeting moment, they felt like one, a singular heartbeat joining the heavenly symphony. As you move forward, the dimensions will test you, the figure cautioned, his tone darkening but still laced with hope. Embrace the challenges. Lean on one another. Cultivate your community. Just then, the collective energy shifted again, and the landscape began to blur. Father Thomas took a deep breath, feeling both wonder and resolve blooming within him. Will we be ready for what comes next? He pondered, fear mingling with anticipation as the light brightened, dazzling their eyes. Only if you trust in the light within you, the figure said, his gaze penetrating and unwavering. Prepare yourselves, for the next dimension awaits, and it holds mysteries yet to be revealed. With that, they held on tightly to one another, hearts thrumming in unison, as the world around them began to dissolve into a flicker of stars. What awaited them beyond this point? Would they find clarity, or face shadows that tested their faith? The thrill of anticipation lingered, their souls yearning for the clarity of divine understanding. In an instant, the stars transformed into a whirlpool of light, pulling them deeper into the embrace of the unknown. The sensation was like being caught in a river of shimmering energy, each heartbeat echoing the love shared within their community. Suddenly, they were no longer on the hills of silver. The ground beneath them felt solid yet flexible, like a soft blanket cradling their feet. As the swirling light subsided, they found themselves in a space of unmatched beauty. Above them, the sky shimmered with hues of violet and gold, each streak flowing seamlessly into the other. It felt as if the heavens themselves were singing, a vibrant symphony that resonated through every fiber of their being. Welcome to the fourth dimension, the figure announced, his voice now rich with warmth and authority. Here, you will not only witness unity but also experience the divine echo of individual purpose. Father Thomas blinked in awe, every detail around him packed with sacred significance. They stood on a lush meadow scattered with flowers that sparkled like dew-kissed diamonds. An inviting aroma filled the air, reminiscent of sweet spices and blooming earth, awakening something deeply yearning within him. Here, the figure continued, you will see that each of you has a unique wavelength, a light that shines in your own way. Together, your lights intertwine, creating a vibrant tapestry, each color distinct yet harmonizing beautifully. A soft murmur spread among the villagers. They turned to each other, and the realization dawned. Each shared life experience, every moment together, was a vital note in the divine melody. I see it. One villager exclaimed, her eyes bright. We are all so different, yet here, we are one. How wonderful to know our uniqueness matters. Yes. Another called out, excitement bubbling in his voice. This is more than just connection. It's purpose. Father Thomas felt the swell of joy within him. Somehow, in their togetherness, they were discovering how the divine crafted each of them with intention, how their stories were not only connected but essential to the grand design. Embrace your uniqueness, the figure instructed, his gaze holding them like a comforting presence. Understand that each gift you possess can uplift others. In understanding yourselves, you will uncover the power to heal and to transform your community. But remember, this knowledge carries a responsibility. The air felt heavy with this truth. Father Thomas, who often led his flock, now felt their trust strengthen with this new awareness. He looked into their eyes and saw a fierce spark igniting a desire to live out this calling together. As they began to grasp this new lesson, the landscape shimmered once more, shifting like a mirage. They braced themselves, the sensation of movement buzzing through their bodies. But what was this new dimension going to reveal? What deeper truths awaited them beyond the beauty they had just witnessed? Prepare yourselves for revelations that will test your faith, the figure cautioned, his voice a mix of gravity and grace. Only through understanding and acceptance of yourselves can you unlock the path ahead. Father Thomas felt a shift in the air, a sweet anticipation growing amongst the villagers. They stood ready, hearts unified, as the next dimension beckoned them forward. What challenges would arise in this realm of self-discovery? How would they address the truths laid bare before them? They felt the stirring of divine mystery, the thrill of what was yet to come. As the shimmering landscape settled, the villagers found themselves on a path that felt warm beneath their feet, like walking on sunlit sand. The air shifted, charged with an electric vibrancy, and the figure who had guided them now stood before a magnificent archway woven from brilliant light. It pulsed gently, casting a multitude of colors across the meadow. Beyond this archway lies a dimension of self-reflection, he said, his voice an anchor amidst the growing excitement. Here, you will confront the parts of yourselves that you have hidden or overlooked. This journey will require courage. Father Thomas took a deep breath. The anticipation was palpable among the villagers. Hands clasped together, hearts racing, they stepped forward, one by one, through the glowing arch. As they crossed the threshold, the world around them began to transform. They found themselves in a space filled with ethereal mirrors, each reflecting not just their physical forms but their inner struggles, hopes, and dreams. The mirrors shimmered softly, inviting them to gaze deeper. A tall villager named Samuel approached the nearest mirror, hesitating as he caught sight of his reflection. "I see the doubt that lingers in my heart," he murmured. "I often question if I am worthy of love." Another villager, Maria, stood beside him. "And I see the fear of failure," she added, her eyes glistening. "It holds me back from realizing my dreams." The figure moved closer, his presence soothing them like a gentle breeze. "This is your moment. Acknowledge these feelings. They are part of your journey, but they do not define you." Father Thomas observed as each villager confronted their reflections. Words of sorrow turned into expressions of triumph as they spoke their truths aloud. The air buzzed with transformative energy, self-acceptance ignited hope within them. Suddenly, laughter broke out as a group of children approached a larger mirror. They giggled at their own playful reflections, not seeing flaws but instead the joy of being loved and embracing life. "Look at how funny I am," one child exclaimed, twirling in delight. Their laughter spread warmth, reminding the villagers of the purity of innocence and the divine spark in all of creation. Father Thomas felt his heart lift. "Childlike faith, how precious it is," he whispered to himself. "Remember," the figure urged as they continued to explore this realm of mirrors. "To embrace your true self is to embrace the divine within you. When you recognize your worth, you are free to unleash your gifts upon the world." With each confession, the mirrors shimmered even brighter, echoing their revelations and amplifying their collective light. Each villager found empowerment in their vulnerability, the atmosphere thickened with divine love and acceptance. Just as Father Thomas thought they had fully transformed, the figure raised his hand to motion for their attention. "You've seen the challenges within yourselves, but you are not done yet. This journey leads to the next truth, how these revelations will fuel your purpose. The dimension of personal transformation awaits." The promise of deeper exploration electrified the air. The villagers gathered closer, intrigued yet nervous about the path ahead. What new truths would be unveiled? Are you ready to confront the echoes of your past in order to redefine your future? The figure asked, his eyes filled with knowing that in the depths of their hearts, they felt a gentle stirring, a divine reminder that the adventure was far from over. As the path shimmered before them, they sensed that the true miracle lay not just in discovering their individuality but in uncovering a more profound unity within themselves. How would they merge their newfound wisdom and purpose into a collective mission? The mysteries of the next dimension beckoned, inviting them to stride forward yet again into the light of revelation. As Father Thomas looked into the eyes of his friends, he saw an unspoken determination. They had begun a journey of the heart, a pilgrimage that would reveal layers of their souls they had long buried. The figure gestured once more, summoning their attention. "Let us move forward," he said, and the villagers felt his words sink deep into their spirits. An invisible current swept them toward another archway, shimmering with a brighter light, a gateway to the next dimension. With each step, Father Thomas felt a warmth rising within him. He recalled moments of doubt and fear that seemed to cling to him like a shadow. But through this process, he had learned to embrace those shadows, not as enemies, but as teachers. Beyond the archway, the air was thick with anticipation. The landscape shifted again, revealing a vibrant tapestry of colors that pulsed with life. Instead of mirrors, they found themselves surrounded by candles, each flickering flame representing a unique story waiting to be told. "The flames ignite your passions and desires," the figure said, his voice rich with encouragement. "Here, you will embrace your purpose, recognizing the gifts that have been bestowed upon you. When you lay bare your intentions, you invite divine guidance." One by one, villagers approached a candle, each one reflecting their essence. Samuel stepped forward, the flame dancing as if acknowledging him. "I want to share my love for music," he proclaimed, determination filling his voice. "I've kept it deep within, afraid of judgment. But I've found courage today." The flame brightened, illuminating his face with a golden glow. The villagers gasped in awe, recognizing the miracle that was unfolding. With every confession of desire, each flame shifted and swayed, resonating with the energy of unmade dreams. Maria joined him, her heart racing as she held a candle close. "I desire to inspire youth through education," she shared, her voice steady. "For too long, I've let the fear of failure hold me back. No more." Her flame sprung to life, wrapping her in a warm embrace. The presence of love enveloped them, igniting the surroundings in a colorful dance. Each villager stepped forward, revealing their dreams and witnessing the flame within them grow brighter. Then something remarkable happened. As Father Thomas took his turn, a whisper resonated through him. "I long to lead my community in faith," he declared with heartfelt passion, "to guide others in their journey, just as I have been guided. Will you stand with me?" The flames united around him, a magnificent swirl of light and warmth. The villagers felt a collective heartbeat, a pulsating rhythm of connection awakening within them. Tears filled Father Thomas's eyes, for he saw their shared purpose intertwining like threads of a divine tapestry. "It is in your unity that you will find strength," the figure reminded them. "Your combined light can illuminate the darkest paths." With every soul ignited and every voice strengthened, they felt invincible. But amid the celebration, the figure paused. "You have glimpsed your purpose, yet the true path unfolds in humility and service. Are you ready to express this purpose for the greater good?" The villagers looked at one another, uncertainty flickering in the air. Would they be able to surrender their individual dreams into a collective mission? The challenge ignited a fire of excitement but also fear. What will happen next? How will we serve together? Maria asked, her voice quivering with emotion. The figure simply smiled, a knowing twinkle in his eyes. "The answer lies not just in your intentions, but in your willingness to take those first steps together. Prepare yourselves, for the next chapter awaits." You stand at the threshold of divine revelation. The air shimmered with promise, leaving the villagers eager to know the unfathomable depths that awaited them. They felt compelled to dive deeper into their shared calling, not yet fully grasping how their voices would transform the world around them. What beautiful collective mission would emerge from their willingness to step into unity? The call to a higher purpose echoed around them, and the next stage of their journey shimmered just beyond their reach. As the shimmer of anticipation filled the air, Father Thomas gathered his friends close. Each face glowed with a mixture of excitement and hesitation, a reflection of the journey they were about to embark upon. They stood as one, hearts pulsing in synchrony, each heartbeat a gentle nudge toward deeper connection and purpose. The figure before them raised his hands, welcoming the gathering. To walk this path, he began, his voice a soothing balm, you must be willing to share not just your dreams, but your vulnerabilities. For in vulnerability lies the essence of true strength. His words hung in the space around them, settling into the hearts of those present. Maria, emboldened by her flame's warmth, stepped forward. What if I falter? What if our dreams don't align? Her voice trembled yet held a thread of hope. The figure responded with kindness, every step may not be perfect, but remember, it's in the assembly of your voices that beauty is crafted. Embrace the uncertainty, faith often blooms in the cracks. As he spoke, a gentle breeze stirred, causing the flickering flames to dance and sway as if whispering encouragement. Inspired, Samuel joined her. Together we can find a way. Together, we can bring music and light into the lives of others, he declared, his eyes radiant with vision. Let us create spaces where we share our gifts. What if we organize a festival, not just to entertain, but to uplift? To learn from one another? His enthusiasm lifted the atmosphere, igniting the villagers' spirits. One by one, they began to share ideas and dreams, each thought weaving a delicate pattern in the tapestry of their collective mission. I want to host workshops, echoed Leah, her gaze bright. To teach skills to those who feel lost. We could guide them just as we are being guided. Yes. Responded David, clapping his hands together. And let us include the children, engage them in arts and crafts. Let their creativity flourish. As ideas flowed, so too did the joy among them. Father Thomas watched, warmth washing over him as laughter and enthusiasm swirled like melodies in the air. He saw the divine connections forming, their intentions merging, lighting yet another layer of purpose. Yet, through the joyous discussions, a stillness descended abruptly as the figure raised a finger to the heavens. Be mindful, he cautioned. With each step forward, the adversities will reveal themselves. The greater the light, the darker the shadows that try to creep in. Be prepared in spirit, for your unity will be tested. A hush fell over the group, the reality settling on their hearts. Shadows loomed behind their dreams, each carrying whispers of doubt, fear, and resistance. Father Thomas felt the weight of this truth and said, but we're in this together. We'll face the darkness with faith. Our light is stronger than any shadow. Let us not shy away. Emboldened by their leader, the villagers replied in unison, together. The figure smiled, watching as collective faith ignited hope. Very well. A festival of light burgeons on your horizon. Commit to this journey, and you shall find strength in your community. The vibrant colors of the candles around them pulsed with renewed energy, and laughter filled the air as they shared laughter, ideas, and dreams with one another. They felt the spark of divine purpose growing, weaving them closer to one another and toward the awaited fulfillment of their mission. As they prepared to leave the sanctity of the candlelit space, the figure raised his hand once more. Your next endeavor awaits, but remember, doubts may cloud your path. Even in the depths of darkness, light will guide you. Are you ready to face the challenge ahead? The question lingered palpably, whispering through the air as they exited, minds racing. Father Thomas, with determined fervor, grasped the hands of those beside him. They stood united, braving the unknown. Yet, questions echoed in their hearts. What shadows awaited them on this new journey? What adversities would threaten the light they had come to share? As they stepped forward, one thing became clear. Their story was only just beginning. As dawn broke over the quaint village, the air shimmered with promise. Father Thomas stood before his congregation, hearts eager, spirits ignited after the transformative journey through the 12 dimensions. Educated by trials and awakened by revelations, they gathered to share the next chapter in their lives, an adventure bound by faith and illuminated by divine light. The villagers, hand in hand, felt a transcendent pulse radiate from their collective heart, a spark ignited during their encounters with the higher dimensions. Each face reflected a newfound resolve guided by dreams shared in the warmth of their community. Brothers and sisters, Father Thomas began, his voice steady and imbued with hope. Today, we gather not merely to celebrate our experiences but to embark on a mission. The festival of light we envisioned is here. Through it, we will spread the faith and healing we have received. Excitement rippled through the crowd. They remembered the flames that flickered in harmony when they embraced their individual gifts. Now, those flames would combine to create a radiant beacon for others, an illuminating force that would dispel fear and burdens. Let us plan this festival with the intent to uplift and inspire. Mary exclaimed, her son stirring beside her, a living testament to their miracles. We can invite everyone, those who believe, and even those who hesitate. For every heart deserves to see the light. Yes, echoed Samuel, his love for music bursting forth. We can arrange performances, where our art tells of transformation. A theater of hope, where every story, every voice is heard. With each idea shared, their dreams unfurled like cherry blossoms in spring, wafting on a gentle breeze. Tears of joy trailed down Father Thomas's cheeks as he listened, witnessing hope blossom before him. Yes, we'll create spaces filled with laughter. With music and art. With love and community. Together, let us ignite faith in the hearts of those still wandering in darkness. Determination painted their faces with fierce devotion. They drew together, hands joined, forming a living tapestry. Here, they vowed to pool their gifts in service, a covenant not to be broken, for faith grown in unity would never stand alone. Gather supplies, each family bring forth what you can. He urged. Let us fill this village with colors, rhythms, and shared stories of God's glory. We will shine as a testament of His love. Days turned into weeks, and the village transformed as they prepared for the festival. Joyous laughter echoed, children danced in the fields, and the shimmering spirit gripped each villager, pulling them into a rhythm of joy. The eternal beauty of hope harmonized perfectly with their souls. Then came the day. The sun held a golden hue, illuminating inevitable miracles yet to unfold. The villagers lined the streets, adorned in bright garments, their hearts synchronized in exultation. Lanterns danced in the gentle breeze, together casting a heavenly glow. As they began their procession, Father Thomas felt the weight of divine confidence, the Holy Spirit urging every footstep. The figure who led them through the dimensions had gently woven guidance into each action taken, and they bore witness to this calling. Under the wide-open sky, people began to gather. The curious, skeptical, and hopeful alike gathered, drawn like moths to flames. With resolute hearts, each villager welcomed them, enveloped them in warmth. Welcome. Mary called out, her smile like sunshine. Come, see the heart of our village, a heartbeat that resonates with divine love. As the festival unfolded, words flowed from their lips, songs of healing that soared across the crowd, filling hearts with promise. Visions tucked away emerged, laughter intertwined with solemn moments and stories of trial. They shared the transformative spirit found in each dimension, the journey of darkness into light, every confession amplified. And as shadows loomed, fear mingled with doubt, the villagers held firm. They anchored one another, casting shadows aside with their collective faith. The festival pulsed with magnetic energy, faith became a multitude of colors lighting the darkness. Feel this. Father Thomas exclaimed, his heart swelling. Feel the miracle of unity, our triumph over skepticism. Together, we are transforming lives, living testimonies. Suddenly, gasps erupted from the crowd, a ripple of awe surged. In the center of the festival, a small child raised her arms, pointing with wide eyes. Look! The colors are dancing. As if illuminated by divine hands, a vibrant halo emerged around the congregation, kaleidoscopic beams bursting forth. The air crackled with electric anticipation, and in that moment, a brilliant light enveloped everyone, igniting the very fabric of their being. Heaven seemed to echo above them, a celestial symphony rejoicing in their unity. Father Thomas felt warm tears cleanse his soul, gratitude swelling for every heart standing beside him, for each story woven into the tapestry that now unfolded into something magnificent. Today, he whispered, we have discovered not just dimensions of creation, but the power of our collective faith. We are called to nurture one another, to journey further into divine love. This is only the beginning. The villagers cheered, hope aflame within them. They had not just glimpsed higher dimensions, they had become mosaic fragments of divine light, reflecting the glory of God. As the day ebbed into night, tranquility settled over their hearts, a sacred silence wrapping them in warmth. The festival bore witness to lives changed, unity forged anew, and as they gazed upward toward the shimmering stars, they understood profoundly, their journey had unveiled the true depths of faith in vulnerability and unity, in love and service. "We will carry this light into the world," Father Thomas declared, his heart full, "for we are reborn in divine purpose." And with that intention, they stepped forward into the night, each heart carrying the promise of transformation, the legacy they were bound to share with all who still wandered in the shadows. Now is the time for you to stand with us. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help spread the light. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this incredible ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Together, let us light up the world, one heart at a time. Don't wait even one more second, your engagement matters. This is the moment to show your support.